And hello, everyone. Welcome to the Chai Tea Tai Chi web show with our founder, Dane Dormio. Welcome, Dane. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you, Andrew?
And I'm doing all right. Thanks very much. Yeah, and I am Andrew Brown. So today I'm going to be hosting, and we're going to be talking about something that is very dear to me, uh, and defining what is Tai Chi. Uh, Coming up with a good definition of that is difficult because there's so many interpretations of the word. One of the things about it is Tai Chi is taught as these different systems, mostly through the family styles or the competition styles. So because of that stylistic influence, Tai Chi as its core is a little bit obfuscated, in my opinion, in my education. And so Dane and I got on this conversation. We're trying to get down to the root of what Tai Chi is, and we thought it'd be great to bring it to the audience and let you guys hear this conversation. So, Dane, why don't you start us off? What is Tai Chi?
That's a simple question that doesn't really have a simple answer, and so I think it's a great opportunity for us to kind of dig into the around this term and clarify some of the obfuscation and just help people make sense of some of the variety of ways this is used and the sort of range of interpretations. And so starting with, I think it's necessary to clear away some of the the confusion by saying, well, okay, so starting with the word Tai Chi itself, what is this word? Well, this is a romanization or a bastardization, you might say, of a Chinese term. Okay, so it's it's there's a term in Chinese, and translating between Chinese and English is notoriously difficult because the concepts are so different. But there's a Chinese person would say Daiji or something like that, and they have one thing in mind, and we Westerners will say Tai Chi, which it's practically an English word at this point. It originated as this Chinese thing and kind of morphed into this English word that most people think of Tai Chi. What do they think of? They think of a martial art that is very gentle. It involves old people moving slowly in pajamas in the park early in the morning. That's the image.
Yeah, Tai Chi for old people. I know that. Of all the things I know that.
That's kind of the image that comes to mind. But this word Tai Chi, it's confusing because the Qi in Tai Chi is not the same as the Qi in Qigong, or Qi is in energy. It's not the same word. It's spelled the same, but it's a different romanization. Essentially, when Tai Chi as a martial art first became known and popular in the West, the Wade Giles romanization was in style, and it was spelled as Tai Chi, but with some extra marks and some accents.
T apostrophe AI C apostrophe. Yeah, there was like some extra punctuation to make the word properly.
I think, and then a couple of decades later, people in the West started to learn about Qigong, and at this time, the Pinyin romanization had come into fashion, and so if they were romanized the same way, the Qi in Tai Chi would be spelled with a J, and the Qi in Qigong would be spelled with a Q, and they're different sounds, different words. They just look the same when translated into English, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
That being understood, it's just saying, like, the transliteration is very sloppy, to put it mildly. So Tai Chi, the term itself, one way of translating, a way that I like to translate it, is fundamental polarity, meaning Polarities and opposites are a fundamental feature of reality. They're co-arising, coexisting, meaning if there's a front, there's got to be a back. If there's a back, there's a front. It can't be a front without a back. It can't be a back without a front. It can't be an inside without an outside, and so on. It's just saying that the reality is constructed of such fundamental polarities or dualities. And that's kind of the meaning of Tai Chi, is that sort of fundamental polarity of which reality is constructed. And there's the Tai Chi symbol is the yin yang symbol that a lot of people get in tattoos and bumper stickers and all everywhere that you look. That's sort of like the term Tai Chi is most closely associated with that symbol. And that symbol is very closely tied in with the philosophy of the I Ching and the Tao Te Ching. And it's a philosophy. It's a cosmology is what it is. The cosmological description of the universe as being made out of fundamental polarities. And that goes way back in history. Where the martial art aspect comes in is there was at some point a martial art that was systematized, and it was given the name Tai Chi Chuan, where the Chuan or Chuan or however you pronounce it literally means fist, but it more means like boxing style or fighting style. So fighting style based on the philosophy of fundamental polarity, Tai Chi Chuan. One that's the most direct and simple way I can think of to convey the idea of what the name of this is. But that's pretty vague in general with what people, and a lot of things like karate means empty hand. Well, that could refer to a lot of things, but
generally no weapon. That's usually what karate means.
Right. With and of course there are many styles of karate, and there's more.
And they do have weapons. They do have weapons in traditional Okinawan karate.
But the Tai Chi is a martial art. Usually it refers to the handful of family styles that are defined by certain traditional forms, and the forms are sort of passed down, and that's how the principles and the techniques are encapsulated and passed along. So when a lot of people, when they say Tai Chi, they're referring to the forms. There's a form, and that defines the style, and then everything else is kind of secondary to that. There's also
real quick, an example: the Yang 24, the most popular form in the world. It was made in the early 50s as a way to teach Tai Chi to a lot of people with a simplified version of Tai Chi. So that's the Yang 24 or the Beijing 24. And that's probably the most prolific form. It's the one most people associate. Oh, this is Tai Chi. The big circle, the big long postures, the open arms, this large form. That's Tai Chi. So that's one way to look at Tai Chi, and it's a special interpretation. So it's something that's come down a long way from the root of Tai Chi, of what is Tai Chi. So we were coming to that. And one thing I wanted to mention, I loved your definition of the fundamental polars. Tai Chi means the great ultimates. If you look at the characters and what that each character means, the great ultimate, the great extremes. And so the fundamental polar opposites of energy and how energy is flowing and constantly fighting for supremacy. This hot energy is fighting the cold energy, trying to become dominant. And this is the battle. This is the struggle for survival that is nature. And that's why I love that Tai Chi. And that was my definition. I just wanted to get that in before we go too far.
Yeah, well, there's the philosophy, the martial art Tai Chi Chuan is based on this philosophy of Taoism, of the yin yang polarity, and as you mentioned, there there's a lot of people to whom the form is what Tai Chi is, and
Yeah.
there's and the Yang 24 form being one of the most popular in the world, the one that's most recognized by people as this is Tai Chi, and anything not this is not Tai Chi. It's something else. This is what defines Tai Chi.
Yeah.
So there's that's a very common understanding. There's another one that's pretty prevalent, which is more of a conceptual based understanding, and there's a collection of writings called the Tai Chi Classics that are sort of poetic in nature. They're sort of cryptic. They're very
Very cryptic.
they're very conceptual, but they're considered to contain the essence of the principles of Tai Chi, and they don't describe forms. They don't describe step here, put your knee like this, your elbow this way, and then step over here. They describe certain principles about how the body works as a whole, and this and all of the and there are different family styles of Tai Chi that are distinct from one another, but they're all considered to be Tai Chi. So they're different styles, but they're all still Tai Chi, and they all they're all conceptually rooted in the Tai Chi classics. So another approach is to say that Tai Chi is not about the specific forms or the specific movements, but it's about the specific principles of movement that the forms are just tools or vehicles for conveying.
Yeah, no, that's very true. The style was passed down through many generations by using the forms. The only way to get my expression of Tai Chi into my student is for me to show them the movements and say, copy me, try to be exact, and then I can sit there and correct them and tweak their arms. You may see an advanced student sitting there doing posture moves, and the teacher is just taking their thumb and moving it by an inch and dropping their wrist a few degrees. Little things like that is how we transmit the exact form as close as we possibly can, and that has worked for many generations. Kung Fu has tested this out. That's how they transferred knowledge from generation to generation. Because for a long time, books, that wasn't a thing. It didn't matter what book you wrote. It could only last for so long. And then how do you convey a feeling? The only way you convey that stuff is through contact, through direct teacher to student discipleship and transferal. So the forms were the way to solo practice after you did that partner practice with your teacher. And it, like Dane said, in the forms is a lot of the style. It's a lot of the martial experience has been put into those forms. So the techniques that saved people's lives, that kept them safe on battlefields and in the city, these are the movements you're practicing when you're doing a form. Although without your teacher or your own education, learning and understanding what these movements mean and how they're applied, and the idea, the basic strategy of Tai Chi is found in all the styles. So Peng, Lu, Ji, An, the first four techniques. Peng meaning buoyancy or ward off is a traditional thing. Think of it as defense. Like I am putting up my perfect defense in my Peng technique. I cannot be hurt. Everything bounces off me. And then we move on to Lu, which is like rolling back or yielding to the force. And then Ji, squeezing or taking space and putting your opponent in bad position. And finally An, pushing or attacking, transferring force properly. This basic idea, Peng Lu Ji An, should be present in your Tai Chi. In every single movement of Tai Chi, you should have this strategy of Peng Lu Ji An. And that was one of the fundamental basics that I learned through this pursuit of trying to figure out what is Tai Chi at the fundamental level. And it comes back to those 8 techniques in 5 directions. So Peng Lu Ji An is the first 4 techniques. And then we have Tsai Lie Zhou Kao. Tsai is plucking or large rollback. is another way of calling it, pulling down. Lié is split. Think of splitting the positive and negative energies, the yin and yang, into two different directions. Joe is your elbow techniques, employing your elbows and your knees as corners of your body and giving a lot of leverage. And then Cow is the body technique, or using your entire body weight or your shoulder to push energy into your opponent. So these basic 8 techniques, and then, of course, the 5 directions. Center posture, forward, reverse, left and right, turning left and turning right. So you're always on the center, opening like a hinge on a door. You're not necessarily taking a big step to the right or a big step to the left. You're more turning and opening yourself, like we do in our basic Qigong class, where we talk about the 3 degrees of motion. We have vertical, horizontal, and rotational. And so we look at Tai Chi and these basic principles. So 5 directions, 8 energies. And Dane, I know that as someone who has been doing this for a long time, you came up with the martial energetic system. And in martial energetics is the essence of Tai Chi. It's your interpretation of Tai Chi. And you came up with that with 6 qualities that describe this system, basically, to create the perfect, I don't know if perfect fighter would be the best term, but the perfect person, someone who exudes these 6 principles. Could you tell us about those real quick? 6 qualities?
Well, the 6 qualities are an important component of what I would define as Tai Chi, but they're not the whole picture. They're just a portion of it. But the 6 qualities of one thing I call them is the 6 qualities of optimal human performance, meaning in any endeavor where a human being is performing at his or her optimal capacity, these 6 qualities will necessarily be present. And if any of these 6 qualities is not present, then a person won't be performing at their optimal capacity. And actually, to put that into context, I'm going to go up a level to to follow from this idea that Tai Chi is either defined by the forms or by the principles or some combination thereof. We're not just talking about solo movement and solo practice, because there is in Tai Chi contains both solo practice, like the form, as well as partner practice, like push-ins. So as a martial art, Tai Chi isn't complete without both of those aspects. So another way that I define Tai Chi is that Tai Chi is Qigong, which is solo energy work, plus Qi Sao, which is partnered energy exchange. And so Qigong includes things like the form. The form is just the Tai Chi forms are just a long, complicated Qigong pattern, and other types of solo exercises you can do. And then there's partner exercises, and the partner exercises are what really emphasize the 6 qualities. The Qigong is based on the 2 first principles and the 3 regulations: the non-exertion principle, the pleasure principle, mind regulation, body regulation, breath regulation. This is what defines Qigong, or the solo practice aspect of Tai Chi.
Oh, and on a quick note, Qigong is the foundation of Tai Chi. Without Qigong, Tai Chi wouldn't have been invented. So Qigong is kind of like it's a big part of traditional Chinese medicine. It's like their exercise or their physical therapy version of traditional medicine was Qigong. This is how you would heal your organs, cleanse your blood, get your muscles stimulated, recover from injury. It did so much for you. And the old martial artists, the guys who had to survive the world, they took these basic ideas of using the least amount of force, make everything feel good, so you know you're in the proper angles and you're not torquing your joints in the wrong way. And they said, well, let's apply this to martial arts and how let's be relaxed when we fight, not tense and not like freaking out like a scared animal. We want to be comfortable while we're in the worst situation of our lives. And that was how we took Qigong and said, okay, now let's, instead of just waving my hands around in space, put another person on the end of my palm and see what happens.
Right. Qigong is fundamentally a healing art, and but it also has the branches of martial Qigong, medical Qigong, spiritual Qigong, and Tai Chi and other internal martial arts are forms of martial Qigong. So with Qigong as a solo practice is its own thing, but what makes Tai Chi a martial art is there's also the partner practice, a partnered energy exchange, that what I call Chi Sao. It's not a term that's really used in Tai Chi, but it essentially means partnered energy exchange, where we are we're physically interacting with one another and giving, and the components of that are sticking, following, and flowing, meaning you're able to stick and stay with your partner, your opponent, your counterpart, follow them where they go, flow along with them, and also give them a learnable challenge to their structure, their equilibrium, their coverage, and they're doing the same to you. So the idea of sticking, following, flowing, learnable challenge is what defines Chi Sao, and in accordance with the 6 qualities which you were asking about. So the 3 regulations: mind regulation, body regulation, breath regulation, make the foundation of Qigong. The 6 qualities make the foundation of Chi Sao, and the 6 qualities being structure, equilibrium, fluidity, body unity, sensitivity, spontaneity. These are the qualities that a person needs to exhibit in order to be operating operating their full potential. So by that definition, the most technical definition that I would give in my own terms is Tai Chi is Qigong, which is the non-exertion principle, the pleasure principle, mind regulation, breath regulation, body regulation, plus Chi Sao, which is sticking, following, flowing, learnable challenge, and the 6 qualities: structure, equilibrium, fluidity, body unity, sensitivity, spontaneity. So Tai Chi includes all of that. The Tai Chi that I teach.
Well, Tai Chi technically includes everything. Tai Chi is supposed to be the expression of nature in human form. So we are nature. Nature is us. We're all one thing, bouncing off each other.
Yeah, it certainly could if you wanted it to, and that actually that actually brings me to a final working definition of Tai Chi that I also relate to, which is that Tai Chi is the physical expression of the philosophy of Taoism. So to say, if you practice Tai Chi, you can say you're a practicing Taoist. That's what it means to be a practicing Taoist, is to have a physical practice. So it's just the physical expression of the philosophy embodied in the Tao Te Ching, which is about following the way of nature, not meeting force with force, but rather following the water course way. And so if somebody somebody asks me if I have a religion, I would just say I'm a practicing Taoist. I practice Tai Chi.
Clever. All right. Well, let me give a quick explanation of one way to find Tai Chi by itself. So we have this practice in Tai Chi called Zhan Zhuang. This means standing like a pole or standing posture. And the essential practice is to find your perfect posture first. So align your back, Line your hips, find a nice soft spot where you can relax in your center. And then let your arms float out in front of you and feel large and round, kind of expand yourself. And in this practice, we find various circles and spheres around the body to make yourself perfectly round and to make yourself perfectly soft and aligned. There's lots of diagrams you can look up about John Zhuang and where these spheres are. There's spheres between the legs, between the arms and the dantian, the belly, and the chest. There's a giant ball here. There's little balls under your armpits. Think of golf balls. There's little balls behind your knees. So all these little energy balls and these pockets make up this practice we call standing John Zhuang, or standing practice. And we just stay perfectly still and relax right in the center. And from John Zhuang, we can discover all of those little internal insights that we get from meditation. And also we get to work out our legs and our shoulders, and we actually develop some muscles from just doing John Zhuang practice. Now from here, we find a standing posture, but Tai Chi is a moving meditation. So we take this standing posture where we feel the Qi ball, we feel these energy spheres all over our body, and then we start to move, and we start to manipulate the spheres. So we can move the spheres left and right, up, down, front to back. We can contract and expand the spheres. We can split the sphere. We can do lots of different things with that sphere, and that, to me, is the essence. That's the beginning of Tai Chi, starting from your standing practice, where you're feeling perfectly fine and safe and round and soft and relaxed and happy. And then from there, you can move on and start to change and start to, you start the cycle of creation and destruction with Tai Chi. All right, Dane, is there anything else you want to say about what is Tai Chi or define Tai Chi, or any notes you want to give people when they're starting Tai Chi practice?
Well, I guess it would be good to say that like the first stanza of the Tao Te Ching, the Tao that can be named is not the eternal Tao. Where reality cannot be captured in words. So, so at best, words are just an indicator, an approximation. Remember, the map is not the territory, and the main value of this practice is not the intellectual exercise, but the direct experience. So the best way to understand what is Tai Chi is to get out there and learn and practice and discover for yourself.
And Dane, could you tell us, where could people come and discover Tai Chi, and where could they come and learn Tai Chi?
That's a great question as well. We have an online learning community that people can join if they want to go deeper with this practice, if they want to learn this in depth. We have a library of videos as well as live online classes that are all designed to bring you up to speed from absolute beginner, wherever you might be, to basically go as far or as deep as you want to go with this stuff. So our online learning community, you can find that linked through our Facebook page. If you can, it's also linked to our website, and you can also just reach out to us and ask about it, and we'll be happy to tell you more if you're interested.
Yes, definitely. We're always open to helping people, because this is the best thing we've ever discovered, and we're just trying to share it, pass it, pay it forward, right? That's what we should be doing, whenever possible. All right, everyone, thank you so much for coming to and watching our show. We'd love to have you come back and come and join us at our 7-day Qigong non-challenge. It's a great way to get started with Qigong and start the essence of Tai Chi. All right, everyone, thanks so much for coming. Have a great night, and we'll see you again hopefully soon.
Thanks, Andrew. Thanks for coming, everyone. Have a good night. Bye.